Alrighty. Oh, we got Bobby watching. There we go. Well, I don't think really anyone's going to watch this live. I think the majority of people will watch it late. So if so, and you're watching it late, hi. Welcome to the 11th or 12th installment of the 4th and 1 podcast. And for the two of you watching live, thanks for being up at 1:40 in the morning. Planned on being home before midnight. Just ended up talking with a few friends about sports, so just rolled in at about 1:30 in the morning. Got myself some water, and we're good to go. I don't even know where I want to start. I guess we can look at the playoff picture. This podcast will go by faster because there aren't 10 or 11 people watching, answering, and asking questions. In terms of the AFC, Titans still number one, even though they have lost 2 in a row. But they are still the number 1 seed. Right now, I think the 2 seed would be the Chargers. I don't know how the tiebreaker would work between the Chargers and Bengals. If Chargers beat the Packers, which they probably will, then they'll have the 2 seed. Bengals would be the 3 seed. And then in the AFC East, the Patriots are going to get their force win, so they'd have the tiebreaker over the Jets. And then Browns and Texans would bring up the 5th and 6th seed, respectively. With the Jets on the outside looking in, the Raiders and Ravens as well sitting at 7 wins a pop. And thank you for whoever updated Daddy Leagues. Broncos there at 6-6 as well. In the NFC, you have the number 1 seed, Washington Redskins so far. Falcons clinched their division. A win next week against the Panthers. The 49ers would lock up theirs. Basically, it's going to come down to Falcons and 49ers for who gets the 2nd seed and 3rd seed. Cowboys will have the 5th seed or the 6th seed, and the Giants will take that other spot most likely. And then whoever wins the NFC North will take up the 4th seed and lose to the 5th seed. So to Emmett or to... Who's Shokan. No one has won. Everyone's on a lose streak in that division. Jesus Christ. Man, this division is so just trash. What was the really bad division last year? Was it? I think it was the NFC North again last year. There's a really trash division last year, and I cannot remember for the life of me who the hell it was. Huh. Oh well. But you got 3 winning teams here in the AFC North. 2 here. Yeah, no, I think it was last year because Mukau was still the Bears. The Lions was Larry, and he had a couple 11. He had 2. He had like an 11-win season, an 8-8 season, and then 2 trash seasons. The Vikings, well, Nick was in it when he was pretty good, year 1, until he quit and switched to the Bengals. And then Beast Mode was there and got all the way to the Super Bowl with them and lost to Kia. And then the Packers, it was Turtle for a good while. So, there was a really bad division, though. AFC East, 2 good teams, 2 bad teams. AFC West, solid division. We should make the top 4 users move to the NFC North. So what, you throw Emmett, Schley, Kia, and then like Mad in there or something. And just have another Playas up there. Basically just put put like Playa, Emmett, Mad, and then Playa, Emmett, Mad, and Kia in one division, and then put me, Schley, Wheezy, and Rob in another division. That would be, I would fucking hate that shit. Like, especially with you, Bobby, in the NFC East. There's gonna be three teams in that division finishing with 10 wins or more. And what's your division record? You're going to be 1-5. So you're 1-5 in the division. Outside of the division, you're 4-3. So if it weren't for that division, you'd probably have a winning record. That's a rough life, man. Take a look quick at the awards leaders. See who's leading that. Darius Geis, MVP. Barkley's up there. Freeman. Mariota, Irvin, Smith. Coach of the Year, Shane Falco. Newton, Mosley, Stidham, Reed, Mariota. Here's what I don't fucking get. How is Mariota best quarterback, but Offensive Player of the Year is Cam Newton? That don't make any goddamn sense. Mixon, Fuller, Hudson, Bosa, Mosley, and Reed with McManus. The NFC, you have Barkley, Irvin, Bryce Love, Devin Bush, Matt Ryan, Darius Geis, Curtis Samuel, Zach. Ooh, where are my guys? Okay. Zach Martin. Do I have any guys up here? No. Fletcher Cox, Bruce Irvin, Monte Nicholson, the fossil Matt Bryant. And we'll get into those in a hot minute of who's going to win them, who will change, etc. Man, Jimmy G would be having another MVP type season if all these other quarterbacks basically threw their stats into Jimmy and he didn't get fucking hurt. Which, that pisses me off too. He got a foot fracture and he was out 7 weeks. But Jerick McKinnon just got the same foot fracture injury and is only out 4 weeks. I don't get it. And that's going to be really a bummer too, because McKinnon could have finished with another 1,000-yard season. But, oh well. He'll finish with 710. 5 yards a carry, though, is solid for him, I think. But enough about me. More about the league. Watson leading the league in yards. Leading in attempts is Matt Stafford. Touchdowns is Wentz. But good quarterback touchdowns, Mariota. Picks is Drew Brees, then Wentz, Luck, Watson, and Goff. Oh, there's a bunch up there above 30. How about Josh Allen? He might be the comeback player of the year, if you think about it. He goes from 50 interceptions to 30. He's thrown less picks and his passer rating's barely even gone up. Oh, that's hilarious. You know what? Where is it? I'm just going to go ahead here and do everyone a favor. We'll go ahead and put his awareness to 1. Short to 77. So this is what Josh Allen realistically, overall wise, is. A 24 overall. discard the changes. Rushing, you have 4 guys over 1,000 yards so far. Have a bunch right here. Bunch at 900. $190 carries for 25 touchdowns. Holy shit. Joe Mixon had over half his touchdowns in one game. That's ironic. Sack leader, I think it's Fletcher Cox. I don't know, it's Bowie Josa. 23. Bruce Irvin had 16, 14. Jesus. Between those guys, he had 30 interceptions. What in the hell? What the fuck is this dude? Fosade, Aluacone, Sumble. What is he, just a 90 speed guy? Yeah. What do you know? A 90 speed linebacker. This is what's garbage. You know what? I'm going to take a picture of this shit. This is what pisses me off. Go ahead and take a picture. Right there. Okay, here we go. Some fucker from Yale. Makes me sad to see Emmett Carpenter not on my team. He was my plan all year. Most made, second most attempt. High. I think he has like the third highest percentage. A punter's 4 for... I don't care about punts. And he's got 4 return touchdowns with Crowder. Huh. Interesting. Well, it's always nice to just go through and check it. I'm not going to go through rookies. We'll go through those later. We'll get into answering the questions. We're 15 and a half, almost 16 minutes in. So, might as well get into the questions now. First one. When am I going to stop doing these stupid-ass podcasts? Well, I feel like in the league polls, everyone said they liked them. Yeah, 0 people said they don't like them, so I will continue to do them. When they will probably stop is once I move into my apartment with my girlfriend, because she'll probably get pissed that I do them. So that might be when they're going to stop, is next Madden. So they'll probably be only this cycle and then they'll stop. Are the forced wins for the Patriots going to get them into the playoffs? Well, let's take a look at your schedule there, Mr. Nick. By the way, Nick, how are you doing? I would like for you, as you're listening to this, to go ahead and personally send me a direct message and tell me how you're doing right now. All right. Ooh, that was a rough start with Schley. Damn. And the Chargers. Shit. Ooh, she had a 3-game lose streak. That's a tough stretch of game. Cowboys, Giants, and Browns. Damn. Dolphins, win. Well, that's a forced win anyways. Steelers, win. Titans, you beat them last year. Maybe you can beat them again. And then Bengals, same thing. You beat them last year. Maybe you can beat them again. Now, Kia, he has Eagles, Redskins, Giants. So that's a pretty rough closing schedule. I think, Nick, you'll get in. So Yes. Will we see any changes to the award winners, or are they pretty much set? I think for the most part they're set. You could maybe see an adjustment in MVP. That might be the only one to change. Um, okay, so apparently I'm supposed to tell you guys to come up with an idea for the draft in the history thing. Nick doesn't like what we do now, and he needs ideas of what to do instead. So if you have an idea, DM me or Nick. Would you ever be willing to let Wonka run a draft in the future? No, because that means I'd transfer commissioner powers to him. So, no. He ain't never running anything. Last thing, make a crazy prediction about who you think will win the Super Bowls for the rest of the cycle. This is an awesome question. And I'm going to save it until the end. I'm going to make you guys wait. What's your number one tip for user play on defense to improve or excel? I will come back to that as well. I'll end with those two. What is the winner of the NFC North's path to the Superb Owl? Shout out Bobby. I will go with Proto because I think he's going to win the division. Let me just double check his schedule. Lions, Bears, Packers. All division games, I think he wins out. So he'll finish 9-7 and get into the playoffs. So his path would then be simple. He'd get the 4th seed and he'd face either Schley or Emmett. He'd lose those games. So say, for example, he plays, or not Schley or Emmett, Shokan or Emmett. Right now, Shokan has a game advantage over Emmett, so I'm just going to play the theory of right now. Right now, he plays Shokan. If he somehow beats that game, then I'd say he goes on to face either the 2 or the 1 seed, so either me, Mad, or Schley. Then if he manages to win that game, then he goes on to Schley, me, Mad, Emmett, whoever. So basically, he would need to pull out stretches. So in this scenario, I'm just going to say the highest seed wins, just to make it simple, not playing biased. Right now, I'd beat Emmett in that scenario. 3 would beat 6. 4 would beat 5. So then that means he would face the number 1 seed, Schley. So then Mad would beat me in this scenario. 2 beats 3. So then he beats Schley. And so then it's the NFC Championship game. Proto at Atlanta. In this scenario, he wins, so he goes to the Super Bowl. And that means he'd have to play Playa in this scenario as well. Otherwise, a Playa, Nick, Rob, so on and so forth. So, it'll be a very challenging schedule and path to the Superb Owl. Hypothetically speaking, that was for something else. What are the most likely teams to miss the playoffs that made it this year? Excellent question. So, personally, I don't think we see that much changeover. You look in the NFC, Redskins will make it next year. Falcons will make it. Cowboys will. 49ers will. Giants probably will again. So that's it all set. The most likely team in the NFC to drop is the NFC North. Whoever wins that one. That's just a shit show circus. So one of them could, that could change. In the AFC, Play is still going to make it. Chargers are still going to make it. Bengals will still make it. The only one who might drop out is, say, Nick. And that just might be because I don't know if 2 teams get in from the AFC East. So Nick, Kia, the winner of that division could potentially drop out as well. So those, I think, my 2 likely candidates. How can injuries shape the playoffs? Well, one thing I just remembered now, speaking of injuries, we'll just quickly flip through them, but the Giants. Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be out for most of the playoffs. Dalvin Tomlinson's going to miss the first game or 2. Larry Fitzgerald's practically done. We'll just quickly scroll through some teams, and if they're a potential playoff team, we'll talk about them if they have a decent amount. Neither of those really matter for the Redskins. There we go, Texans. No J.J. Watt, no Lamar Miller, no Deshaun Watson, no DJ Reader. The Titans, nobody of significance. Chargers, nope, that's not going to impact it. Cowboys have anyone? Zeke might miss the game of the playoffs. Ridley's, these guys are all coming back though, so yeah, I mean the Giants one could, and obviously if anyone loses their starting quarterback, that's gonna make a huge impact no matter what. Who would have more commish blunders, Wonka or DSK? That's a great question. That is a great question. I'm gonna say DSK slightly. When do you predict Tide Pod to be drafted? I say third round. Tide Pod will go in the third round. Will another real life coach be fired before the end of the season? That is a good question. I think you could see the Bucks coach was a Dirk Cutter. Is that how you say his last name? Cutter, fuckboy, something. I don't know, whatever. He'll probably get fired, I think, before the year's done. I think you could see. I don't think the Jets will fire. I think the coaches that are going to get fired are going to be Mike McCarthy, Todd Bowles, Dirk Cutter. I think the Broncos head coach is going to get fired. I think. What's his cock? What the hell's his goddamn name? In the Browns, they're going to get rid of Greg Williams. He's an interim, but I don't think he'll come back, quote unquote. I think those are probably going to be like the 6 coaches. Adam Gase, I mean, I don't know though. The Dolphins aren't horrible. What the hell's their record? Because I think they have a winning record. Oh, they're 5-5. Maybe if they don't finish off 9-7 or better, they could fire him. Adam Gase is one. I don't think he'll get fired during the season though. But Adam Gase is one, absolutely. They could get rid of Sean McDermott in Buffalo if they're dumb. But so the next one, would Wonka win a Super Bowl with the 2000 Ravens defense and the greatest show on turf? Probably not. Because if you look at Wonka right now, we'll peep his roster. First off, if you gave me this Rams team, I'm pretty sure I'd average 40 points a game. One, I would have never traded Brandon Cooks. Anyways, on the defensive side of the ball, they're not good in real life, but this defense, IRL, or this Madden defense is legit, especially adding those linebackers that he did. That's just a legit defense. So I'd probably go 14-2 with that team. Raiders making a playoff push. That is apparently, according to Johnny, that is a statement. Wheezy asked, will Madden ever make DeAndre Hopkins good? Well, I used him in a game against the Panthers user when we were over at his place talking sports and shit with a bunch of our friends. And Hopkins was great for me. I gotta go to the Texans. He made a bunch of contested catches. I think he had like over 100 yards for me. Hopkins is legit. I think he's underrated. He's got a 99 catching, 97 catching traffic, and spec. So I don't know, man. I think Madden made him good. Will the Redskins win the division over the Cowboys? Yes. How many NFC East teams will get in? Well, that's pretty obvious. 3. Will Geis set the rushing touchdown record? I don't even know what it is. Is it 32? Oh, let's find out. Oh, it's 28. Yeah, he's going to break the record. Amon Richards or Bryce Love for Offensive Rookie of the Year? I'll go Bryce Love. Ha! 69. Okay. So, now Nick asked, we'll go into practice mode quick to do this. Whoops. Can you even beat defense, though? Yeah, you can't. Basically, the number one tip to improve your user play, not in a cheesy way, would be to first off pick if you're not a good coverage guy and you're a really bad user like cover linebacker and you're gonna botch stuff up, just use a defensive lineman. You're only gonna cause more harm. Just use a good D lineman, try and get home and get a faster pass rush. That's number one. Number two, mainly just look at sticking to your assignment. Don't get worried about trying to sprint around everywhere, do everything. Just stick to your assignment, read your play. Read your keys, read the play. If you are playing cover 3 and you're the hook to curl vertical release kind of guy there, and you're playing that zone, and you see your guy running deep to run a seam route, carry him. Don't worry about a guy coming on a drag underneath right away. Carry him, because the last thing you want to do is pull off too soon to the drag, and then the quarterback releases the seam route and you give up 40 yards. Carry him enough to where your safety can pick him up, then drop underneath. Giving up, sometimes you just have to realize that it's okay to give up, a 7, 8, 9 yard completion, a 10-yard completion here and there. Make them work for it. Because if an offense has to go 4 yards, 7 yards, 3 yards, 6 yards, 5 yards, in Madden, they're going to get annoyed. And they're going to be like, okay, fuck it, I want the big play. And they're going to try and force it down the field where you have safeties waiting. So it's just stick to your assignment and play it. Don't worry about trying to stop everything. You can't stop everything. Completion for 5 yards on 2nd and 8 is a win. That's a victory. If it's 1st and 10 and they gain 7 yards and it's 2nd and 3, yeah, it's not great, but you know what? There's still more downs to go. You could get an incompletion, stop. Just don't overcommit to doing something and don't undercommit to something. Find that nice happy medium. And then Big Tuna just tweeted apparently. Wonder what he's tweeting in the middle of the night. He tweeted, "How do I get my own Netflix comedy special?" Okay. Well, maybe you guys can go ahead and tell Tuna how he can get his own Netflix comedy special. Now, the top question is, who will be winning Super Bowls for the remainder of the cycle? Which will be interesting. This season, so I will go ahead and I will write this down in the social media thread and I will pin it to see if I'm right. So season 1, we're typing it now, will be the Patriots. Season 2, I think, I think the Falcons will win it this year. Season 3, I think the Titans will win it. Season 4, I think I win it. I'm going to go bold. Season 5, I think Emmett will. And then Season 6, which should be our last season, I think we'll go to Titans again. I'm going to go ahead and pin this message as well. Boom, pinned. You don't win Super Bowls. I actually have won Super Bowls before. I just didn't last cycle. So, joke's on you. I have before. And I didn't last Madden because everyone had super teams. Everyone had 99 overall fucking rosters. But I do win Super Bowls. Well, it is 2:10 in the morning. I am going to go ahead and watch Guys Grocery Games, play a game of NCAA. In my NCAA Dynasty at the University of New Mexico, my big quarterback that was averaging 60 points a game graduated 4 wide receivers, 4 offensive linemen, 2 running backs, my quarterback, few defensive players, my kicker. In came my new quarterback, who's been sitting on the bench for 2 years as a redshirt and then a freshman. He played sparingly as a freshman. Few things at receiver, few just read option plays, garbage mop-up time. He currently leads the nation in rushing as a quarterback. He's a 93 speed quarterback. So I went from a tall pocket guy who can just sling it everywhere to a guy who can run around and throw it. So that'll be fun. I'll have to start posting some pictures about the cheesy stats I put up. We have a 34-game win streak, so we're looking to win our 3rd straight national championship. So I'm going to go do that until I pass out. Hope y'all enjoyed the podcast, this kind of style where everyone's fucking asleep. So, waiting to 35. Have a good night.